But this independence does not have the blessing of the Paul Biya's government. I think it's important for us to note that authorities, we understand, have also imposed a 40-hour curfew meant to restrict movement of what it terms threats from separatists. What does this day mean to you, Mr. Taka?
As pro-independent activist, this is a wonderful day celebrated by 8 million Ambazonians across the world. For us as Ambazonians, we celebrate this day in remembrance of the leader of our nation, His Excellency Sisiko Ayok Tabe, kidnapped by the Paul Biya government with his government, and many of our freedom fighters and locked up incommunicado for an extensive period of time. It must be known that the Biya government would never succeed to wipe out the Southern Cameroons from the map of history. The Southern Cameroons has always been an independent country, and evidence to that is the fact that we ran self-governance from 1954 to 1961, when the United Nations facilitated our recolonization by colonial French Cameroon. So we do not need the blessings of French Cameroon to define ourselves. We are Ambazonians. We have a territory, we have a language, we have a culture which is very different from theirs. Our people celebrate this day looking forward to having a country which is ours, a country where there is rule of law, where there's true freedom, where there's peace, where there's stability, and of course where there's democracy that gives rise to the kind of development we need for African countries. So thanks, happy Independence Day to every single Ambazonian listening to me, and to the free people of the world as well.
Mr. Taka, the movement of people has been restricted in the English-speaking regions as we speak amid the Independence Day. How do you respond to this curfew that has been imposed by Paul Biya's government?
During the apartheid days, the apartheid government imposed a curfew on black South Africans. That did not stop them from rising up and fighting for free country that we have today. So you will remain assured that our people do not take orders from Biya's government. Our people take orders from our interim government. Last year on this day, it must be remembered that 128 of our people, Ambazonians, were brutally slain by the Biya government. And as we speak, there is a genocide happening across the Southern Cameroons. Our people are being massacred on a daily basis. It's very sad that the international community remains silent. The curfew is a waste of time because you can kill the body, but you cannot kill the idea. We have asked our people back at home to celebrate independence in their hearts, celebrate them in their houses. Across the world, we are celebrating them. We in South Africa were celebrating Independence Day below the Constitutional Hill, and our people came out in their numbers.
Now, the first part, Mr. Taka, is that many continue to be killed as a result of the running battles between government forces and the separatists. Hundreds have fled the violence into nearby bushes, while others fled into neighboring Nigeria. There is no doubt, Mr. Taka, that daily life has been disrupted with increasing violence on both sides, isn't it? But what do you think? Why do you think the international community is kind of, its response is muted with regards to what is going on there?
I would like to state on record that the people of the Southern Cameroons are independent activists, and those that are fighting to protect our neighborhoods, our parents and our communities are restoration forces. We are not separatists because we have never been part of Cameroon. Many in the world do not know the truth, but the United Nations and Britain, they know that there has never been one Cameroon. There are two Cameroons. French Cameroon, colonial French Cameroon, had independence on the 1st of January 1960. The Southern Cameroons had independence on the 1st of October 1961, as voted by the United Nations Resolution 1608 on the 21st of April 1961. So the reality is that the international conspiracy of capitalist economic interest seekers, as opposed to the human rights side of leadership that we should be expecting from international bodies, is the main reason behind the Southern Cameroon's case, which is a case well known and recorded, a case rooted in international legitimacy. It is so unfortunate that while our people continue to be killed, and the world knows we have a right to completely defend our territory and our people, those that we expected to stand by us continue to play the ostrich game. We use this day in particular to call upon the African Union, the United Nations. We call on major countries in Africa like South Africa, Nigeria. We call on the US, on Britain, on France to break their silence. They must not wait for another Syria in the Southern Cameroons before they come to intervene. I must quickly add that the struggle of the people of the Southern Cameroons is rooted in law. Our struggle is peaceful. We believe that in a civilized world, in the 21st century, we should not solve problems by using the barrel of the gun. We should negotiate on the table like civilized people and respect human life and human dignity. So I speak on behalf of the government, I speak on behalf of the people of the Southern Cameroons, that let the world stand up and say no to the genocide happening in Southern Cameroons, no to war. Let's deal with the root causes of this problem and facilitate a peaceful separation between colonial French Cameroon and the people of the Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia.
Now, the crucial elections are just a few days away on the 7th, Mr. Taka. And what impact do you think the restriction of movement of people will have on the upcoming polls?
Mr. Paul Biya is 85 years of age. He has been president of Cameroon now for 36 years. On the 7th of October, he wants to run for another 7 years term. That will be 43 years in power. Well, in the Southern Cameroons, our people will not vote. It's a foreign election. It's got nothing to do with us. We know they will send in their terrorist military. They will terrorize our people and kill our people, but they will not force them to vote. So it is a completely colonial French Cameroon affair. It's got nothing to do with the people of Ambazonia.
Now, you're saying that your people are not going to vote. Are you planning your separate elections apart from the ones that will be held on the 7th?
We do have an interim government of the people of Ambazonia that was put together by the leadership of our different revolutionary movements in October 2017 in Nigeria. That is the only legitimate government that has authority over the people of Ambazonia. For now, our core mission is to send out the colonizer, colonial Cameroon, and as soon as we have stability in the Southern Cameroons, we will have democratic elections so that the people choose who they want to rule them. And we will ensure that we have strong institutions, not strong men like you see in a lot of our other African countries.
All right, Mr. Milton Taka, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much. God bless.
All right, cheers.
Thank you.